Oh, for all concerned citizens, the cab is still hanging. Don't see any problems with the rafters as of now. Mr. Tim's here. I got Williams here too. Got to keep him out from underneath there just for safety's sake. I did have half a notion to get a bunch of pallets and stick up and under there, but I don't know if I'm even going to do that. It's okay there, but I am certainly going to wash those windows before we put it back on, right? I think that'd be the best thing. So for everybody that's saying, oh, John Deere sells a hinge kit for that, John Deere sells a hinge kit for that, John Deere sells a hinge kit for that. Wait a minute, John Deere sells a hinge kit for that. I'm here to tell you this is a 6210R. John Deere does not sell a hinge kit for this. It would be absolutely 100% pointless. This piece of iron right here, this thing right here, it has no place to put a hinge kit on it. It just doesn't. Stop with the hinge kit crap. This is not a 6930 or a 6830 or a 6920 or whatever the hell you guys are used to, or 7530. They're not available for the 6210R. Just not going to happen, guys. So what I'm going to do is tell you what this transmission is. This is a ZF. Model 2.4 Ecom, E-C-C-O-M 2.4. This is actually a damn heavy duty transmission. I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, well those IVTs they're junk. They don't hold up. They're blah 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 and blah blah some more blah. So let's just get this out of the way. These are awesome transmissions. This tractor is a loader tractor, and loader work, no matter what brand, variety, type, or whatever it is, loader tractors take the biggest abuse. And loader tractors like the 6210R take the abuse in the low forward gears. The first 3 miles an hour in forward is where a lot of that work is being done. There's clutching work. I don't use, hey, don't do that. I don't use the clutch in this tractor. We're gonna have to start getting. So no matter what you're doing, loader tractors take abuse. So now that I've got that out of the way, I love the IVT transmission for loader work. It's just super smooth, super powerful, super universal. I mean, you can do whatever you want with it. You can set this up. It actually has a loader setting where your throttle and your transmission is run off of your right foot. Yeah, it's awesome. So hope that clears some stuff up for you. That's exactly what I think of them. I think they're great. I am not sure whether I'm going to pull the wheel off of here yet or not. This wheel, I don't know. Do you think I should pull this tire off of here? I think it would be easier to get in and around.
Yeah, would be.
Yeah. It's not necessary. But see, the problem with this tire is it's huge. It's not a 20.8. This is a 710-70R38, I believe, right? Yeah, 710-70R38. It's wide. It's like 28 inches wide. So it's kind of hard to get in here. I mean, I could step up and over or whatever and get in there, but there's a lot of cleaning that needs to be done. I want to get the transmission oil out of this thing. We're going to do that right now so that I can start pulling this here apart and cleaning everything that's underneath there. I want to get that all cleaned off. There's some hoses here. These lines can pop off both sides, I think. I don't remember. I got to clean that up. That might be fuel rail stuff. I'm not sure. It's all hydraulic returns, I guess. But we are going to definitely have that little bugger out of there, hopefully today. Shouldn't be terribly awful. There's a computer there. I'm not even going to pull the wires off. I'm just going to take that controller there. I like nuts and bolts. I just don't like it when I got to take a lot of nuts and bolts off. But I will say, we got some things. These are
metal shavings.
Metal shavings that have congregated in the sump. I cannot say that they're terrible, but I can say that I'm pretty sure that it is either, it's got to be clutch discs. At least that's what it looks like to me. Hey, William. Right up my ass here, kid, aren't you? That's a good thing. Why are you playing in the oil? It's going to get in your hair and then you're going to need another bath. Okay. Okay. You heard the boss. He says, okay, I'll take a bath. Yeah, Yeah, they're just metal shavings. I'm not terribly convinced that they're... Well, obviously it's not that bad, but I am seeing some black, which leads me to believe that it's one of a couple of things. It could be, I mean, this could even be some brake lining, you never know. Could be left over from manufacturing because there is such a minute amount of it. But I doubt that it's left over from manufacturing. So, anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and William, I'm gonna put this back in there. Does that look bent to you?
Yeah.
You know, as bent as that looks, I think it's supposed to look like that. It's not soft plastic.
It's hard.
I'm not seeing anything terrible. There's some dirt of some sort. I tell you, honestly, there's not much in there. There's no telltale thing that says, oh yeah, you found the problem. It doesn't say that. So, anyway, okay, I'm gonna get a rag on this thing. I'll slide that.
Good?
Huh?
Good?
No, yeah, no. Come on back over here. Cold. Getting colder in here.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to climb underneath here. Basically what we've done, we're doing is prepping to drop the bottom sump. Or not the bottom sump, the drop box for the front wheel drive. We've got this off. This is the front drive line to this, which is a good thing to have off. It does have a grease zerk on there, and I have greased it. This one here is non-greasable, which kind of annoys you, so you got to pop one off and grease that, but that's for the front drive shaft. Now I did discover that what this piece bolts onto, that piece that goes into the front axle, has some play in the splines. So before this tractor goes all back together again, excuse me, I will pull that off of there, inspect, and re-grease it, put it back together. And most of the times, what happens with those is they relax the nut a little bit. When you drive it back on, it's good. But if there's excessive wear, I'm gonna have to buy a new one. So anyways, I'll put this in. Okay, so we're discovering some interesting things about this tractor. And I'm pretty sure that this is something that happened before. This definitely happened long before I bought this tractor. This could be the reason why the original owners of it sold this tractor. You can see right here, that's all the paint. The casting paint is knocked off of it, and you can see that there's a lot of bits and pieces of chipping up and around here. This is your park pawl. Okay, so this park pawl here is, you know, I mean, I don't understand why the park pawl would be the park pawl is where it's supposed to be. I've got the mechanical release there. Can feel on this gear, I can feel it, maybe not. No, I guess this, oh, that has just a, yeah, there's some chipping or whatever in this gear here. So, and you can see here that a bunch of pieces were coming off at high speed and just slinging up and nailing that, causing that paint to get chipped away. So, okay, all right, this kind of, it doesn't complicate anything as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't complicate anything, it doesn't change anything that I know of yet, but let me get you over here to the actual unit here. So here's the drop unit, and Timothy noticed right away, he's like, hey, there's cracks in this thing. So, and I had a suspicion that this had been taken apart once before. Yeah. You can see all over in here that pieces have come out. I'm just pretty confident that this gearbox that drops down in here, this is a front wheel drive or the four wheel drive unit, bearings went out in it or something, somehow. You can see that it looks like they're cracked. I'm pretty sure that bearings went out in this. And they just said, you know what, let's put new bearings in it, let's seal it up, let's stuff it back up in there and dump this tractor. Just get rid of it. So obviously the thing has been running pretty good. I haven't had any issues with the four-wheel drive unit or the front wheel assist unit, which would actually explain some of why there's a little bit of slap on that front spline on that thing. But you can see the chipping right there. See all that chipping? That is, it almost looks as though it was run dry.
Yeah.
You know, that's really what it looks like. It was run dry, but we never ran it dry. Let's see what the backlash on those is. Yeah, they're, what a crazy thing. So I'm pretty sure this is why they sold the tractor. Whoever owned it before sold the tractor. Those bearings are definitely different. That bearing is different from this bearing, so something happened. And it could be very simple as this thing here, this block loosened up and caused that to slide out and cause that trouble. But that whole entire system or unit here has definitely come forward because it rounded that over. Well, that changes things as far as I'm concerned. This is going to be a little bit more expensive of a job than what it normally would be for that transmission, because I got to replace that part. I'm not going to put a new transmission up in there or rebuild this transmission and then put these chipped up teeth in there, because what could happen very simply and easily is one of those teeth is weak. It could break off, go up, and completely destroy the transmission that I just get done rebuilding when I'm done rebuilding it. So that has to be replaced. So what we did was we got the power takeoff shaft, or the input shaft, off from the coupling shaft from the engine to the transmission. In the older series tractors like the 4960s and all that, it's all bolted solid. I like these a lot better, personally. There's a reason for that. Because you can actually get in here and do work. If a clutch goes bad, which there's no clutch in these. Yeah. One of the dampener goes bad in the back, it's all right there. You just pop that off from the bottom. You can get up to it from the bottom. You can go through the floor, or you can take the cab off and do that. But anyhow, yeah, just any old hoe. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and start taking these controller.
That's the controller box.
That's one of them. There's a lot of them.
Jesus Christ.
Take these controllers. I got this controller. I have these are the pressure sensing valves for the pressure control valve sensing valves, sensors for the valves for the IVT transmission. It's at the front. It's in the filter housing, believe it or not. It's all in the filter housing. This whole piece right here is part of the filter housing, and it is, those sensors are in there. It's the same ones I had to replace on the 7530. Inside there, there's that little thermostat looking thing that went bad on the 7530. It is bad on this one as well. So it just started to act up when I was gearing up. Well, this fall when I was gearing up to tear it apart. I mean, this thing couldn't pull a sick whore out of an outhouse. I mean, honestly, it just couldn't.
That's not nice.
No, it's true. It's not whether it's nice or not, it's true. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
So this will have to be replaced.
Rusted.
Shit.
That's another $500.
How much?
My guess.
That's a good guess, but I don't know. It could be $500. It could be less than that. This really isn't the end of the world.
Why it gets so dry like that?
Because the grease dried out. So it's dry, that's all. Okay, so I cleaned up the splines. You can see the wear down in here. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but there's not.
Oh, I see it.
There's wear on. You can see there's little lips into them. Yeah. Each one has a little sliver like a razor blade. Okay, so when this thing wears, and most people don't know this, but if you come up upon, well, you can feel it. Take and run your fingers across that from new to old.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of wear there. So
It's
a
not
lot of
smooth.
people don't realize, but if you go up to a John Deere tractor and you hear it kind of have a wobbly noise, it's kind of goes whoa, 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 and it sounds like the engine's kind of having problems. It's this coupler.
You call that a coupler?
This is a coupler. This is the coupler. This is a splined input shaft that goes into a coupler shaft, which is a socket. So this is technically a coupler. Splined input shaft or coupler. I guarantee it's called a coupler or coupling. So when these things start to wear and they get really worn, you get a vibration in the tractor because it starts to do this. Just a minute little bit. Well, when it's spinning at 2200 or 2400 RPM, got a little wobble and then it gets worse and worse and worse. Well, what happens is the grease dries out. There's a seal here, but the grease, they use shitty grease. They don't use good grease in these things. They use regular NLG2. I am going to use my very expensive Mobile XTC heavy duty coupler grease, which has a viscosity of like a million, and it'll work really good in there. So
You think?
way to go, Mobile. No, actually, you know, I ran that in the balers. You don't feel any of that in the driveline at all.
Are you trying
all
to
day long.
commercial a product, Mr. Pandy?
And I sell condoms too.
William's like, what? What's going on? What? What did I miss?
What were you just saying about something a little bit later? What did you want to do?
Yeah, you hold your own happiness, you know. You know that? Ah, you drop it, Daddy.
Yeah, well, you can go down and get it if you don't mind.
I'll go get him. What does it look like? A screw?
It's a bolt.
A bolt?
I'll tell you. Hey, I think there's a magnet up there, isn't there?
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, it's right there. You got it.
Because there's 3 big ones out there.
Yeah, well, that's okay. They're supposed to be.
Here you go.
Good there. You'll be ready to lift this sucker out yet tonight.
You gonna lift it up?
Yeah, we'll get it out. We'll get it out.
You don't want to go home. You want to stay here and hang out with you?
Well, wouldn't you?
He's a boy. I'm a girl.
Now that thing running. Shut that off. You're gonna waste my battery and then I won't have any room. just need that one. Set it. I don't want to set it down. I want it on that table because we got to tear it apart. I want a DJI Osmo.
Okay, somebody heard that for Christmas.
Huh?
Maybe somebody will give that for Christmas.
Yeah,
gift
I'm going to
for
stick
you.
something in your ass for Christmas too.
That's not nice.
Bend over, sweetheart. Here it comes.
Okay, go ahead with your story.
Okay, so I can go with my story again. See, Teresa got hungry as we were taking this out of here. Actually, I don't know what caused that.
It's rather unfortunate, but
It's kind of like the ring gear in the 4450 and how there was two of this.
yeah, it is kind of like that. But what I think it is if you come over here, this is the parking, this is the park pawl, okay? So there is this guy here, which removes the park pawl from being in position. Can you quit doing that? I gotta remember how to put all this shit back together. But that thing spun around in there pretty good when it went. I think, yeah, it had to have. Oh, I'll bet it did. So I think what happened is something failed, or somebody jammed it into park somehow, shut it off while going down the road will do that. And you could probably knock it off with the park pawl. Wow. So this is the back side of the transmission. Obviously, we got a lot of cleaning to do to get it cleaned up. Got to move some stuff around here. But for the most part, this little bastard is heavy. It is heavy. It is bulky. It's just massive. I can't believe how not easy it was to get it out of there. This thing was not easy. So when they assemble these things, I'm pretty sure that this is assembled and then they slide it in from the back and then hook everything up as it goes.
Oh, this is...
Huh? Don't mess with that.
Oh, that thing moves.
Yeah, let's take the vice grips off and then I'll show you. Ready? There it goes.
Ah,
So this is
cool.
hydraulically actuated. When you take this thing out of gear with the left-hand reverser, this hydraulic solenoid block here sends a signal to the solenoid, which releases the park, or puts it into park when you put it in park. It will not jam into park while you're going. If you put it into park, it'll stop and then go into park within 0.02 miles per hour, preventing the damage that we've got there. But I don't know if you shut the key off while going down the road, it would still have pressure. I don't know, man. Something definitely happened to cause that park ball to bust that tooth off of there. And that's the pinion gear.
Well, at least it's not a transmission,
Bull gear. I guess they call that a bull gear.
right?
Yeah, that's just a drive gear, so...
Well, that drives that. That's just a parking
Yeah.
thing. So, well,
just the
it's
drive.
not just a parking. That also runs. That runs the power takeoff shaft.
I thought that top one does.
Look at that. See, it even got all
four-wheel
this.
drive. That runs the four-wheel drive.
Yeah, this
unit.
runs the four-wheel drive.
That runs the four-wheel drive unit. So that goes into the rear end. This is the four-wheel drive unit. I think when we go to put it back together, that's going to go in first, and then what we will do is we will pull this filter housing off. That should give us enough room to get it in and out of there. It
Like,
ain't
'cause
much.
that thing's tight space in there. Shit.
Oh my God! I mean, if they could shoehorn anything any small
Oh.
bigger in that fucking space, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Oh my God! So now's the fun thing. So what caused the failure? You know, it's like if I tear this whole damn thing apart and there's nothing wrong with these clutch discs, it's gonna be the hydro.
But there's a pump inside this.
The hydro's in there. The hydrostatic drive motor. So that's what runs this whole tractor. Is a hydro. So the engine comes in here. This shaft here.
Yeah.
It goes clear. That shaft goes clear across to here. I'm sure it's to there. Maybe the hydro. I don't know. Wherever that hydro is in here, that shaft goes to the hydro, and then that hydraulic that just runs that hydro. that engine runs that hydro, and then the hydro runs the transmission. That's why it's seamless. And there's brakes in here, all kinds of stuff in here.
Well, is that the same pump as what runs on the 7530?
It's similar. It's the same design, but it's a different pump. It's different. You can buy that pump. Inside here is where your electronic solenoids are. They're all in here. So even if you just have a bad solenoid, even if we had a little scrape was gone, even if we had a bad solenoid, you'd have to pull that thing to get it out of to get those solenoids out. So,
Wow.
So that would be the clutch pack right there.
there's clutch packs in both sides. There's a lot of clutch packs in there. I mean, when you split it here, this will come away. That'll go that way. This will go this way, and then we should have access to everything.
That's a nightmare. With that much iron and electronic and stuff, that's a nightmare.
That'll probably keep me up tonight. Will you stop pushing that thing? Like the worst. I don't know why.
I'm going home. I'm cold. I gotta cook supper.
Shut off the heater